Yeah, because they have to do that. Our people don't. I encourage all of the younger artists um to get in the thinking of spreading it around in the culture and looking at what you do within the culture, and when you're doing it, not like everything you're doing is just like you're just trying to blow up, but everything that you're doing, you have to look at it like a contribution to the culture, because it is a contribution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we're doing right now is valuable, man. When you go sit in these people's chairs and shit like that, you giving them content.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna come a point in time where people are gonna just start charging for interviews. That's coming.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like, me personally, I feel like niggas should come out and hit all of the black platforms. I don't care who they are, and then go hit the no jumpers. And you know what I mean? I don't suggest that you go hit Vlad just because I don't fuck with Vlad. You know what I mean? But I understand why people do his show. You know what I mean? But I think that it should be spread out. I don't think that anybody should be overlooked. But that's gonna be like a decision that will have to be made by the artist. You know what I mean? So I just hope we can get to that point one day. But I definitely make it a point to make sure that I connect with all my brothers, especially brothers like yourselves, man. You know what I mean? That's doing it the right way. You know? So why not bring value to all your brothers who are matching you with that value, who care about the culture, who, when they do things, it's for the betterment of the culture and not to the detriment of the culture. You're not going to be able to measure that or be able to identify with that until you run into some problems like how we ran into with Vlad. I fucked with Vlad all the way up until he had opportunity to actually show if he cared about the culture, and he couldn't even do something as simple as apologize to the minister for something that he admitted that he was wrong to. There go your opportunity right there. You didn't take the opportunity. That told me everything. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's it. So it's like, yo, y'all not gonna misquote the minister or do some shit like that, and then when it falls back on you, you say, I'm not apologizing. Y'all gonna be proud to apologize because y'all love the culture. You are the culture.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's the type of shit that I kind of look at now. I haven't always looked at it, but I look at it now, and I know the youngins, a lot of them aren't looking at it. So like it take a community, man. It take solidarity. You know what I mean? Like once we start calling niggas out and you're not doing this and you're not doing that, it just makes it worse for us.
Yeah.
And the funnier part about that, because we interviewed Lord Jamar around that time and Godfrey around that time, and they stood firm on what they said. But we had a lot of other people that came on and said, I ain't going over there. I ain't dealing with Vlad no more. Boom, boom. Then they ended right back. I ain't gonna put no names out there, but they ended up right back over there. And you said the same thing that we said about the whole situation. It's just like they kind of prey on the fact that we don't really stick together on something. You made an example of Nick Cannon, how when he just gave his opinion, how it was backlash. Then you also talked about how we fighting more so with black people than the other people. As far as when we make a stance like that, it's always somebody that jumps up and wants to fight us instead of like the other person ain't got to say nothing at all. Could you kind of expound on that a little more?
I mean, you said it. You know what I mean? Like we triggered by each other, man.
Right.
Like I think if when we really get down to it and we start looking at, I don't know if we really like each other. I think that's what we need to think about. Do you really like your brother? If so, why is it so easy? Why is it so easy for you to kill him? Because you don't have none of that energy for none of these white people.
Right.
If a nigga, and I'm sorry, I don't even mean to use that phrase. If a black person did half the stuff that Vlad's platform did, he'd be dead.
That's a fact.
A black people would have lit him up a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
These guys don't have no energy for white people. And I'm not saying it to say that they should have that energy for white people. I don't want niggas to have that energy for anybody. Especially not each other. But why is it just specifically just for each other? That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's why That's why it's hard for me to engage in, diss records and all of it. I just can't, man. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. I've done it. I'm guilty of it. You know what I mean? Like I fall back into certain patterns, and then I got to catch myself, man. I hate the fact that that's a go-to for me. I hate the fact that I can naturally just like put pen to paper and just tear my brother down. I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate the fact that a black dude could say something about me and it'll trigger me different from if a white dude made a generalization. I hate that because, man, I'm telling you, man, like it's almost like we living in a separate world and we viewing it out of our own little microwave doors. And those are the environments that we come from, whether it be the projects, the hood, the east side, the west side, the ghetto, whatever it is. These are created environments, man.
Yes, sir.
So you're a product of environments that were created for you to be how you are. And in the way that you are, there's a stat for everything that you do. There's a stat. There's a statistic for everything that you do that's being held against you. Everything. So the whole schooling system that you're a part of, there's a clear pathway from that schooling system to the prison industrial complex. There's a clear pathway. And you're just a part of a process that's already in motion. Like how like you can't even teach a young person that it's too much. So when you get of age or you finally read enough or take in enough information to understand that, you just sound like a nigga preaching.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's hard as a black man, especially in this culture, to evolve in peace, man. It's hard, man. Like that's the biggest battle that I'm having. I'm battling myself every day, evolving. I gotta fight off demons. I'm an alcoholic, man. You know what I mean? Like I got a son with autism, and I think I've never been diagnosed, but I'm almost positive that I'm on the spectrum as well, slightly. Because I was looking back at a couple interviews that I just did. I had a straw during those interviews, and people complaining about the straw. To the people complaining about the straw, let me tell you something about the straw. I think it's either my slight Asperger's or it could be me being an addict. But when I need the straw, I need the straw. Right. So if you don't like the straw, don't look at it. You know what I mean? I can't explain it. If I need the straw, I need the straw. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry if you don't like the straw. I love the straw. I don't have the straw all the time, but when I need the straw, I'm using the straw. I need it sometimes. You know what I mean? And there's a lot that we go through this in our minds that people don't even think about. They don't even consider. I got to watch how I speak, and people call me arrogant, and you know what I mean? Like, he's arrogant. Why am I arrogant? You know what I mean? Like, why? Do you know how self-conscious that I am? The only time that I'm at the height of my confidence is when I'm writing a rap. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm a black man. You know how many things go on in my mind and how many times I have to put on a face that doesn't show fear or vulnerability. You know nothing about me. It's real easy to judge somebody, man. It's real easy to sit around and talk about somebody on the other end of your fucking computer screen. You know what I mean? So I don't think people take into consideration the things that we just have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's tough, man.
Man, it's easy for them because they sitting in dirty drawers with a dirty ass gaming headset on, watching Love and Hip Hop and shit with chips and shit all over their shirt. They don't know. they just as miserable. But I want to talk about, shout out to Kara Dangerous, a friend of the show. I'm sure she's a friend of yours.
Yes, of course. That's sis.
Absolutely. She dropped a post on Instagram that was dope, and we talk about it all the time here. I want to kind of expound on it. She said, remember when everyone knew pro wrestling was fake and they finally admitted it and the fans didn't care and continued to watch it anyway? We're almost there with politics and the media. Now, I want to kind of stray away from the politics unless you want to dive into it. That's a whole shit show in itself, and kind of stick it more towards the media as it pertains to what we do and hip hop and entertainment. And we talk about all the time how fake we assume it is because we're not in it directly. You know what I mean? We're on the outside looking in of it. How fake is this shit for real, bro?
Media in general?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think there's real motives and real agendas, but the actual content, more so falls under the motive and agenda category than it does pure content. So whatever they're shooting to make you believe is what they're doing. But I don't think it's just media. I think it's anything that you look on anything that you look on TV and see. Period.
Right.
I think all of that is being controlled. You know, it's been a conglomerate for quite some time now. I believe it's like three platforms. What do you have? Like Comcast, Charter, and I think there's one more.
Maybe Time Warner. Maybe.
Yeah, it's like a few white men sitting around the table making all the decisions in regards to everything that you guys see, everything that your children see, the way that they build their confidence, what the measuring stick for beauty is, whatever they want you to think it is. If it's tall, white, slender, with full lips and walking the runway, then that's what it is. That's what every young girl is gonna want to look like. If it's Kim Kardashian, that's what everybody's gonna want to look like. That's it. You know, so I view media the same way, the same exact way. You know, it's just agenda driven. Like whoever's in power, that's what's happening.